Hey everyone, I'm Mark. I'm here today to show you how to import a track into World Racing Series, or really any Pyboso game. Kart Racing Pro, not so much MX bikes. Sorry. Anyways, before you get started, I'm using 3ds Max 2010. The plugin support, I think, goes through 2012. I don't know, I have 2010. I know it goes through 2010, I can tell you that. You can get the plugins from the World Racing Series website under the downloads page here, so it's worldracingseries.net. I think it brings you to this page, maybe even this page. Nah, definitely this page. Anyways, downloads, track tools, small download. Comes with a few tools for editing and creating tracks. I got them hidden away right here. You get your FBX to EDF, which is like a command line based converter. We're not going to use it because we have Macs and we're smart. Map view is kind of like the R Factor viewer, where you can just view your scene file viewer. Plugins, here's the plugins for Macs. So it looks like we got 8, 9, 09, and 2010. Alright, it doesn't go through 2012, it's only through 2010. Terrain this is a command line based program for MX bikes or WRS tracks that have ground deformation. Probably a later tutorial, we'll get to that one. And then TrackEd, this is what we'll be using here. We'll go over it when we get to it. I believe that was my plan. I don't have a plan. Who am I fucking kidding? So anyways, the other website you're going to want to bookmark probably if you're about to try this bad boy is docs.pyboso.com/wiki. I think here's your main page. Okay, it does take you right there. And then the important bits are going to be under track tools and track creation rules. These are what you're really going to want to need. It shows you basically the objects need to be named in a specific manner to be driven on or to be hit, to have collisions. It also covers what you can use for textures, how to name your trees. I've never done any of this, although I have had some problems with trees, so this could explain it. Explains how to set up shaders. A little bit different, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to cover any of the modeling stuff. I guess I should probably cover a little bit. But yeah, reflections. I think it goes into like the 3D grass in the game, the starting light animation, and texture animations if you're into that type of stuff. Just give some basic guidelines. Really, the stuff that's important is right here, the object naming. Okay, so here's my track. It's Santowski. I ripped it from R Factor thanks to JCR Tracks. I didn't ask for permission. I'm not going to distribute it. I don't think he can get too pissed. He could get pissed. I don't think there's any repercussions for me coming. So anyways, here you can see I've edited some stuff. He had all this broken up. I've attached it because it seemed like a lot less work when I have to rename all these objects. To show you how the textures work here, open up the material editor. As you can see, I got a multi-sub object just like R Factor. I have 46 things going for myself here. So here, the track, damn it. The track here, map to road A. Open her up, standard texture, go to diffuse, pick your texture, road A, awesome. You always want to make it visible. And that's it. It's just a standard texture. If you want to do shaders, it's actually a text file that you can define more parameters inside of than you could if you were to set it up here. So it works pretty neat. A little bit extra type and work. Generally, you just copy them and change file names. It's a little tedious, but like I said, it allows a little more control, I think, and it works out fine, anyways, in the end. So that's that. Not much. It's not a track modeling tutorial. You guys should be able to apply a texture by now. So first things first, we need to rename our objects so they are derivable. So the track will go TRK, which is the prefix that's necessary. I'm going to turn caps lock on so I have to hold shift all the time. And then we're going to go ASPH asphalt. Now here, there are 3 asphalt variants that we can call out. So TRK, because it's drivable. It's CASPH. There's also B. So that'll be a little slipperier, I believe, with all the default cars, and then some of the mod cars I've made I've set up that way where they just followed suit. Here we got pit in. Okay, so it's pit in underscore TRKCASPH. God damn it. Pit out. TRK. Nope. Pit out underscore TRKCASPH. And that's literally all the. Well, here we have to do the pits too. Anything that you can want to drive on has to have the TRK. Actually, it would be pits. Is it pits or pit? Pits underscore CASPH. I probably should put the I in there. Here it is. See, I told you this is going to come in handy. It's pit underscore. Anything off track that you're not supposed to be racing on, off. So anyways, we're going to take the S out of here. All right, and then here, this will all be off underscore TRKGRAS, which is for grass. And we got the infield, also off underscore TRKGRAS, grass. Weird thing when converting an R-Factor track, sometimes the verges between the track and the grass are not modeled. I believe it works this way in R-Factor as well. This is all going to be grass. I won't be able to model this verge here, this transition. It's just once you get basically past this line right here, it's going to act like grass. Not ideal, I guess. It's just a modeling thing. Ideally you'd have this transition be a lot shorter. You can see there's a lot of wasted space here in the texture, which should really, we could redo that, push that up closer to the edge. Would be the best way to go about that. But this is what we got. I'm fucking lazy, so we're going to convert it this way. Alright, we're going to go TRK GRAS, because it's on the track. Sort of. We're going to let her slide. Alright, ambulance. Here we got WLL, because it's a wall. ARMC, because it's metal. WL ARMC 01. Did I do something stupid? Track grass 01. I can't have them named the same. It's going to export everything when we do this. Here's another wall. This one's concrete. WLLCONC. It's concrete. WLLCONC 2. Well, it's a 1 actually. I mean, I guess it's technically 2. And then there's the one around the back straight here. WLLCONC 02. There's 2 little armcos on each side of that. WLARMC 02. And this one, WLLARMC 03. Little tire wall here. Oh, a lot of little tire walls here. You know what? I am not this ambitious. Alright. WLL TYRE, because he's European, I believe. Nailed it. Okay, that's just going to be the first one, and then we're going to go down here. We're going to attach all these bad mama jammas. WLL TYRE 01. This is probably a little repetitious at this point. I would recommend skipping ahead. Wall tire 02. It's a big one. And we already got this one. Here we got the fence. WLLFNCE. Wire. Damn it. Wall wire. Yeah, that one will be fine there. And then there's this this one to keep you from getting too rowdy out in the outfield. wire 01. Now I could go through and hit up all these, but like I said, this is repetitious. So if you want to get fancy, put collisions on everything in the infield and whatnot, go for it. I'm not gonna right now. How many arm close? This is the third one, so I'm up to 3. Okay, probably get all these. WLARMC 04 5 06. There, that should do her. So now I'm going to save this after all that hard work. We're going to go in. So far, let me show you my setup here. I just have the Sandusky folder. This is my working folder I work out of. You can see I got a max file. I got the 3DS that I imported. And here's all my maps. That's all I got going so far. So what I'm going to do, grab one out of the game. Here's a track that I know is basic and I can copy from. So what you're going to want to copy, EDF. EDF files are models. So you got these are basically your sky boxes. Your background, clear sky, cloudy sky, and a rainy sky. All right, other than that, ambience file, that sets your lighting. INI, that's kind of a settings file. You know that. Map, we don't need to copy that. That is something that we're going to export. RDF is a race data file. This is a track center line. We don't need that. Here's your track logo and your track map. TSC, trackside cameras. TRP, that is the collision surface that you drive on. We do not need that. So we're going to copy these files. Go back to our working folder. What the hell is it called? Sandusky. Paste them all here. These ones we can leave because they're skies. Here we go. We go Marshfield, 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 Marshfield. We're going to want to call this Sandusky. Oh boy. Sandusky. Sandusky. Boom. Rename all those. We're going to want to copy Sandusky. I want to change the name of the map here. Now we open up sandusky.ini. And I don't know if it's whatever. You know. And get all this changed over. Author, not me. It's in Sandusky. Anyone know where Sandusky is? Perfect. Thanks for the input. Here you get your cloudy probability, rainy probability. It's a asphalt oval. Set that shit low. If you use random weather, that way you can maybe get cloudy. Hopefully not rainy very often. Leave this open for now. We're going to get a code, and we will get the track length when we set up the track a little bit further. Just for, because we can. Open up the ambience file. Here you can set your sun position, X, Y, Z. Here you set up your background, clear sky, cloudy sky, and rainy sky. We're not going to mess with it because this looks beautiful the way it is, and I really don't know what I'm doing. All right, so back to 3ds Max. Now we are going to go ahead and export the track. I haven't set up anything in here other than the file names, or the object names. Oh, hey, you know what? I didn't do a TRK on that. Well, now I'm just pleased as punch that I randomly clicked on that one. All right. So that's done now. We go to File, Export. You'll have to install the plugins. I'm not going to show you how to do that. There's instructions on the wiki. Not that it's that hard. You drop the plugin in the plugins folder in Max. You're going to pick EDF Export, EDF WSS TRP Map. Going to navigate to our working folder. Sandusky. Boom. We can do it right here. It's going to be called Sandusky. Click Save. First, we're going to want to create the collision file. We're going to merge vertices because I converted this and I didn't weld everything, so this is probably for the best. Click OK. Takes a little bit. Spits out a code. You guys remember where that code went before? That's right. Oh man, what the hell am I doing? We're going to copy it and paste it right in here. Alright, now we've done that. I apparently installed a camera that I know I'm going to want to get rid of. So I don't need that to get exported. Everything. Alright, back on track. Now we go to export again. This time we're going to export our map file, which is the visuals of the track. Same thing, just type in Sandusky. Actually, you can probably even click on the TRP file here. We'll try it. Yeah, I want to replace it. It's not going to actually replace it. Then you go down to map, right here. Click map. You know, I've never seen this light stuff before. Interesting. Anyways, merge vertices again. Shadows, shadow volumes. We're not going to, well, we're not going to do them. They take a little while to create. Not important for throwing a track in and testing it. There is information, I believe, on the Kart Racing Pro forum, kartracing-pro.com. Click forum. There's a track heading forum there. It's really the only track heading forum about how to set these up so they look nice. Like I said, they do take some time to create when you're exporting, so we're just going to skip over them for now. So yeah, we highlight map. I'm checking merge vertices because I'm lazy and converted this track. Normals, you can pick if you'd like. Flat shading, smoothing groups, or you could just set everything to an angle and let her eat. Click OK. Runs through her. Takes a little bit this time. And you take a drink of beer while you wait. Maybe two. Can we go for 3? I think we can. Here, that is thing locked up. Dang it, only got a half in. Alright, so that's that. We're exported. Now we got to go through a little bit of work to get it set up to work in the game. Don't mind this. Anywho. So from here, we need to navigate back to the track tools. I could maybe set these up somewhere neater so it's not confusing, but just watch the video 10 million times. Anyways, go in here, open trackhead. This is the visual one. So you go to load, navigate once again to my working folder, tracks, Sandusky. You open up the TRP file here. And this is what you get. Hopefully, if your track is at 000, see how this is right in the center. If you tuck your track and it was, say, over here, you know, you set it with 0000 in this corner, you wouldn't really see much. But anyways, this one's right in the center. Handy dandy. First things first, we need to create a track center line. This is kind of like the NR2K3 editing where you have this line that basically everything runs off of. This is basically mainly just used for, it is used for setting up your pits and your starting grid and stuff like that, your race control type stuff. So anyways, center line, new, add segment. We're going to do a straight because we're going to start on a straightaway. Oops. We're going to actually create the straight this time. All right. It always starts out at 000, so I know that that's there. Oopsie daisy. We're going to drag it down here close to the first corner. Now, when you're in this program, fancy tip, scroll wheel in and out, Z, and move your mouse. Press Z, move your mouse. Press Z, move your mouse. Move your mouse, don't press Z. Press Z, move your mouse. Got it? Takes a while to figure out sometimes. So we're gonna go back here. We're gonna put this at the starting line. Doesn't really matter. We're gonna go straight down the middle of the track until I think we probably need to start turning. Right click on the little box there. Oh no, did not want to do that. Delete. Right click on the little box there. Why is my mouse jumping? Add curve. Take this bad boy around the corner, hit the middle of the track again where we need to be going straight, hopefully, if it'll let me. Now you can see it comes out a little more in the middle, so we're take this, it's all relative. We're going to take that straight part back. Add a straight, see how straight I was on that. Oh my gosh, I was straight. Press Z, move ahead, go like that. Add curve. Same thing, bring her around the corner till you think you get to the straight part. See how far off you were. Looks like I was pretty good. It's about in the middle all the way around the corner. Maybe bring her in a little bit there. Add curve. I know this is a straight, but we're going to add a curve because the last segment needs to be a curve. So it'll still go pretty straight. You bring it down here close to where you started. Click away from it. Right click. Close. Close this up. Center line. You're going to want to save it because you're going to have to come back to her eventually. I don't know why this is so small. Alright. Back here, navigate to our Sandusky folder. Guess what we're going to call our boys and girls? Probably just boys, though. Sandusky.tcf. Save it. Center line. Merge it. Alright, look at that. Track length, 676. That is in meters. So, Google machine. How many meters are in a mile? 676 meters in miles. 0.42. We're going to call this 4/10 of a mile. How long is the real track? Oh, hang on. Damn it. Length, 2652. 2,652 feet in meters. 808. How far off were we? We're like 100 short, huh? Wonder if our measuring techniques are different. Yeah, we are way off. Hey, I just converted the track. I didn't build it. So anyways, we're going to call it 4/10 of a mile. And that's in here. This is why we left this open. Length. Maybe we should go with half, because that's what it's supposed to be. Anyways, we're going to save the INI file. We can close that now. Next up, race data. Here you can see the different things you can view. Cameras, Marshall's visual camera editor. Pretty nice, decent to use. Not terrible. A little confusing to navigate the first time you use it. Marshall's, we can place flagmen in the corners, in the flag stand. They actually wave. They actually hold the right flags. No additional animating or texture naming or anything to do. Pretty freaking awesome. Anyways, we're going to edit the racing data. The race data, sorry. I had 3 drinks of beer. Careful. Alright, we'll have to go on a beer run soon. Anyways, we are using World Racing Series, so we're going to check or dot the World Racing Series box. Now we're going to go load the RDF file. We could create this from scratch. Hell, why don't we? Start finish line. Right here. In the lower right here, you see some great stats. Really handy. We're never going to use this elevation box. Your X and your Z, as you can see, as you move around from the middle of the track. Long is how far you've traveled around this line with your mouse. Lat is how far left and right you are. So, Finish line appears to be at 61 meters longitude. The left side of the track is at -8. The right side of the track is at, well, we're going to call her +8. So, longitude, 61. Left. Oh, you cannot tab. You have to go through every box. -8. Right. 8. Splits. Click the splits button. It'll set them up automatically. I don't know if splits are really a thing in oval racing. I guess if you had split lines on your track, same thing. Click through 1 or 2, and then you can find your longitude, line it up if you had a painted line or something that you needed to line it up with. Speed trap line, we're going to put that at the end of the back straightaway. We'll put it about right there, 435. So, 435, left side is at -8, right side, +8. Checkpoints, this is for like corner cutting, I guess. If you wanted to add them inside the corners, go nuts. I'm not that into it. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have some problems with the pit in, pit out line because of how the track is set up here. We can try it. So at 8, and then it's going to have to be over here, -33 through -19. No. -28 and -40. So left is -40, this side -28. And we're going to have to move it ahead a little bit. 12. Now let's just go 10. We'll bring this in -25. Pit outline, do the same thing on the other side. Put her at about 58. -40. -25. So actually we can go ahead, 62. Alright, and then in the lower right here, pits. We want to set up our pits. Now we can do relative, which would be tied to the center line, like the pit stalls have to be. This is a shortcoming. I agree. Anywho, pit stalls all have to be in a line. Start longitude is 61. Difference long, 1 meter. Number of pits, 10. Let's see, we're going to go absolute. Anyways, we could fit 12 cars in here. Start latitude is going to be up against this side of it. -35, and we're just going to run them straight. -35. So it looks like we can do maybe like 3. Oh, we can do 4 meters, I think. 4.2. 4.3 meters we can do. And those can be a little more, -38. 37. And -37. Pit boards, you can set them up so they'll be out along here, more, or even along the back straightaway. I don't think pit boards are a real popular thing, so we're just going to put these at -10 so you never have to see them. Here is the actual pit, or the starting locations. So like I said, you could set up your starting locations just like the pits here, and then your pit stall would be your starting location. We're going to go absolute because we are going to set them up over here by the haulers. Looks like I typed a bunch of C's in there. So we're going to start here. Pit stall number 1. Well, I don't know where we're going to start. -182 and -80. -182 and -88. There we go. -182 and, oh, can't tab. -188. Spacing X, we're going to go with 20. Because X is this way, yeah. Spacing Z. Boy, you can't set them up quite that easily with an unevenly spaced trucks, but we don't have that many stalls, so it doesn't matter. 20. Why are they over here? Oh, because I put them at negative 188. Columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just going to do 6 because we only have 12 cars anyways. 6 columns. So they're spaced out a little far. Bring them back in. Nope, not that way. 15. Doesn't look like these are spaced very evenly. Anyways, we're going to turn them 90 degrees. Well, that sucks. We're going to put them over here. This is stupid. Negative 109, negative 158, negative 109. Can't tab. Negative 158. Columns 2. Spacing X 12. There. Now everyone can just drive out on the track. Anyways, that's just where you start from. I think it's still in relation to the center line in the file, so it would not be that easy to edit. The track ed here is doing the hard work for you on this one. Kind of shitty. Close that. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Set up the grid. Why is it running so slow? This makes me nervous. We're going to save. Alright, set up the grid. Take the old Z button back over here. Once again, you could set her up in the pits if you really wanted to. We're just going to do relative. There's only 12 stalls per row, 2. Difference from start, 5. Doesn't really matter. I just want, you know, a little bit of space. 10 meters. Yeah, let's go 7.5 meters between rows. Lane spacing, 5 meters. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the offset between first and second. We'll just make it 1 meter. Difference, lat 2. No, we want that one to be 0. Lane width, 6. Lane shift, we could make her a little more towards the outside of the track so they sit right. Left or right, I think is set which side is first. Yeah, we're going to go left. You could auto set it here. Bikes, cars, karts, MX bikes. If you really wanted to. Not into it. Close that. Save her again. Save it. Close. Now the fun part. Left. -8. Right. +8. I should explain this. +8. Alright. So the fun part is surface. Just remember your track width here. This is to generate the dynamic track surface so you can get a groove worked in. Completely different for dirt tracks. If that's what you're wanting to do, I would recommend not watching this tutorial, as it's pretty much useless for that. Anyways, edit, set your margins, surface, generate, wait, it'll throw that thing up, file, save your TRP file. So we came in, track editor, we drew our center line. We saved our center line because we're going to have to use it later if we ever export the track again. And then we merged our center line into the TRP file. That's an important step. Your track will not work without it. Then we went into race data, set up our race data, our pit stalls, our grid, all that type of jibber jabber. After that, surface, set our margins, generate dynamic track, set her up. Best line. This is for the best driving line that you can turn on and off. Sorry, excuse me. In the game, I believe it reads a replay file, so you'd have to go out, drive a couple laps, save the replay, load it. Oh shoot, you can turn that right off. Perfect. Anyways, we're done in here for now. So we're going to go back to our working folder. It's called Sandusky. I know you're surprised. We're going to copy all these files. Background, clear sky, cloudy sky. I just don't want to copy the stuff I don't need. Ambience, INI, map file, race data file. Don't need the center line. The logo, which I don't think there's a logo. The TRP, the TSC, which is trackside cameras. TRP is the driving surface. And the map. I'll just show you how I copy them by right-clicking instead of being sly about it and using Control-C. We're going to go down to World Racing Series, into the Tracks folder, create a folder, new folder. Guess what I'm going to call it? Yeah, that's right. We are going to paste all of our files there. Now we are going to launch WRS. I steal a lot of things. We don't want Lake Erie. We want Sandusky Motor Speedway. Temperature, wind, wet, don't care. Oh, there is a map there. I don't think it's accurate for Sandusky Speedway. It looks a little different. There's even an image. So anyways, this is where your stuff shows up. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Weird. I don't really care. And now we load. Garage, I'm going to copy the setup so this car doesn't do something crazy. To track. Let me pull my wheel over here quick. I've only had one beer, officer. You guys like that moving steering wheel? Alright, I set this up. I should know where I'm at. These textures don't look great, but they'll work. So far, so good. We can drive out the pit lane. We can't see anyone coming, so we're going to go for it. This wall seems tall. I guess I've never been there. Here. Oh boy. I swear I've only had 2 beers. And here you can see where we get that weird transition. Listen. That might. Okay. So I mean, anyways, as far as my converting process this went, I mean, really minimal work. I didn't set up anything special for the fences or the trees. They come in just pretty clean. All you got to do is you gotta load your textures. You know, if you actually built the track, I guess you'd probably just have to reassign all your textures instead of as G-motor materials. You would assign them as standard maps. Really not a bad conversion process. Should even the windows in the skybox work on this one? I've kind of found the alphas to work a little differently. Anyways, just running a few laps, trying to get the dynamic track worked in. I got the multiplier turned way up. Start to see some of those features. I'm sure you can see the rubber's starting to wear in. So anyways, some of the other things we set up. Walls, concrete wall. Sounds like concrete. Tire wall. That still didn't sound great, did it? Metal wall sounds like metal. I apparently didn't name that wall correctly. Also has no backface. Did I name this one? That one I named. And this tow truck. Yep. Don't know what happened to that tow truck. Leg stand. I'd try and hit the fence, but, well, you know what? We can go hit a fence somewhere. Whoa. Something bad happened there. Why is my rear tire so stinking hot? Here's a fence. Sounds like a fence. So, here you can see the trees. I believe it is recommended to use chroma key for your trees because the alpha is quite the resource hog, but you know what? You only live once. Might as well get wild. Look perfect. Pretty, beautiful trees. I didn't do a drop of work to model them. This is pretty much an ideal situation. Once again, no backface on this fence. Kind of wild. You know, here you can see a little bit of where I ran in a groove. Don't mind the yellow shadow on the car. Or all the other jibber jabber I got going on. This is like a development mode thing. Shows you your tire temperatures and your water temperature and thermostat opening and all sorts of stuff that no one cares about. Your wheelbase, nose weight. But yeah, so that's really all it takes to get a track into the game. I mean, if you wanted to get fancier... Oh, that tire's still a little hot. You know, add the... I don't know if there's no support for caution lights. There's no support for cautions at all, let's be real. If you... Oh, this is ridiculous. But yeah, that's it. I mean, as you can see, lap timing already works. That's part of the center line thing, obviously. You don't have to set up X sectors. Laps, and we should be able to break these down somehow. Oh, there is the sectors there. So yeah, here you can see. Oops, I'm all over the place. A little bit of the dynamic track here. We go, we haven't been on track here. Here's after we've been on track. Boom. Like I said, I have it turned up, so obviously 5 laps wouldn't normally do this. I think I'm on like X15. Pretty aggressive because I wanted to show it off. You can even see a few little marbles here and there coming in. Look at them little bastards. So yeah, I think that's about enough for this video. Hope it helps anyone interested. Pretty basic. Once again, I didn't really cover much modeling. Just the basics. How once you have your model set up, get her into the game. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.